All right, time for me to open up. I gotta get rid of some of these boxes. Time for me to open up. I kind of already opened it up, but I haven't pulled it out, so I don't even know if it's defective or not. But get some of this paper out of the way. I tell you, I got this from Second Gen Graveyard in Tennessee. They did a great job of packaging it up and getting it out to me quick. So, if you remember, I was talking about my headlight panel being broke on mine. We got in an accident. Well, get some of this out. So here it is. Turn on some light and get the lights on the situation. So now I gotta just clean this up. But tabs there, tabs are there, tabs. Yeah, John DeLorean out at Second Gen Graveyard did an awesome job. You could tell that his heart is definitely in these cars, and he cares about his business. And I'm just looking over it as I'm talking, because when I contacted him, contacted him probably a month or so ago, and he said he didn't have anything, and he didn't have anything in inventory. And then he posted another post, said something about, hey, if you're looking for anything specific, and this was in general, not just to me, please let me know what you want, and I'll see if I got it. And he gets flooded with a lot of questions and a lot of things, but he replied back to me quickly. And as soon as I bought this, heck, I'm thinking like in 3-4 days, it showed up to the door. It was so quick. This is what was sitting outside when I was working on my Bronco. It popped up, and it took me by surprise because I had just ordered it, and I thought it would be a little bit longer, but it's here. So now I can go ahead and, let me move this box out of the way. I can start ripping apart this and this old crappy one that's been all boogered up from whomever. I've got a whole new headlight panel. So I'm looking forward to it. Now I just got to go in and start cleaning it up and finding out what I can transfer over from that one to this one. Clean up some of these studs. See the front side of it. Yeah, clean up some studs. There's a headlight adjusting screw there that probably could pull out and put another one in. Yeah, it's awesome. Glad I got it. So thanks a lot, John, Second Gen Graveyard, for sending this out quickly. And I know your wife does a large part on this as well, so thank you to her as well. But let me get to cleaning this up so I can get ready to start taking the old one apart and swapping over stuff. But it's here. Thought I wouldn't find one anytime soon, but I got one. All right. Later on, guys. All right, we'll try this again. I recorded it and realized my audio was off. Not that you'll see it because I won't put it in there, but such is life. I got this header panel all painted, cleaned up, really nice shape, really nice shape. So again, thanks John from Second Gen Graveyard out of Tennessee. He sent this quick, very quick. Him and his wife got this here really quick, so I really appreciate that. Went around it. There's no cracks on it whatsoever. Awesome shape. I just put this over here on the bench, or on the stand rather. So I took off the one grill that's up there. The other one was already off, but I took it off and then realized I better start recording some of this stuff. But I gotta take off the headlight bracket. License plate bracket, and I've got to take off the headlights. And once the headlights are off, I can come down and get under here, and all the way around it, there's these little bolts that are screws that go into the headlight mounting bracket all the way around. Take those off, and then I can probably scuff it up. Get all this pinstripe off, scuff it up. I ordered some flexible primer, so some good primer to put on this to where it's made for plastic and polyurethane and things like that. Not buying paint yet because I'm not sure what color I'm painting it. It's still TBD. Every day I go through it in my brain, and I've got like a bunch of different colors what I want to paint it. So I'm not holding myself to any one particular color. Probably whatever color is in fashion the day that I have to paint it, which will probably be a ways away. But yeah, so there we are right there. So you know what I might do? I got to take this off too. I might start to try to scuff it before it gets on the, before I get it off of this, so I can use it as a backbone support, but we'll see. All right, guys. All right, so I got all these little screws out all along there. I took off the center brace. I'll have to clean that up and paint it. And then I only had one of those that attached to the front of the car. It came up off there, and it attaches to the, and I realized why after I took it off during the accident. I guess it was broke out and they never replaced it. So I'm debating whether just to buy another one or to get rid of that one and just manufacture two of them that look the same. So it'll be something different, but they'll be matching, if you know what I mean. But I'm gonna get ready to take that shell out, and I gotta put my gloves on because I learned my lesson yesterday, or not yesterday, earlier. This fiberglass, when I was doing the other new one, I had fiberglass in between my fingers and on my palm and slivers, and it's not fun. So it looks like it's simple. Just kind of peel it back without cracking anything. I mean, I'm not worried about this piece right here. I just don't want this part being destroyed. Trying to see how it's in there. Take it out. There's something on it. Oh yeah, it's got the kind of like sandwiched in between that. Where's a screwdriver? I get a screwdriver, try to help pry that open a little bit. Of course, my screwdriver is over here somewhere, I'm sure. There it is. Just kind of get it. Oh, there we go. Kind of peel it back little by little. There we go. Just trying not to damage the covering, because I do need the covering. I just don't need this. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice. It's about ready to come out in two pieces because there's only this little. Get it over here. There's really only this little piece right here holding it all together because the bottom is completely whacked. So what I'm anticipating is it's going to end up breaking anyway. Just because. All right. There we go. Get that one. Get that one. And then get that one. And then boom, we're out. So this is my favorite screwdriver. It has been for years. And I made the fatal mistake of using it as a chisel a while back. And now the shaft is loose inside the handle. Still works perfect. Just has that little bit of wiggle room, which that was my favorite screwdriver. Still is, but all right. So this is why I'm replacing it. I'm so glad I got another one. Well, it just fell apart. Look at that. That was what was in my, and even this little side that has all the Bondo or fiberglass, whatever it is, it's heavy. It's heavy. So now, it's got one little screw, or not screw, one little nut to take off that Pontiac symbol. So when I'm sanding it, I would figure it's smaller than, so it's probably a 3/8. Take off this little Pontiac symbol on the front. You know what? I probably should have a socket. It'd be so much easier. Oh, good. I was hoping it didn't just snap off. And it's not. It's coming out. Come on now. There we go. Now, I'll save my Pontiac emblem. Clean it up, I guess. You know, back in the day, and I say the day, meaning 30 some years ago, I didn't even save things. I threw it away. I was like, I'll get that later. I'll get that later. Fast forward to today. They're harder and harder to find parts, and when you do find them, they're not cheap. So it's kind of a lesson. Did that break too? I'll leave that alone because it did cut. So, all right. Probably I'm gonna vacuum it so it's got a bunch of rust and dirt, and I'm sure it has what do you call it, fiberglass in it. So watch your ears. Now I can safely turn it over without having too much stuff fall out. So now I'm just going to go along and actually this holds shape and structure pretty well. I thought when I took that plastic piece out it was all kind of get all dilapidated, but it's not bad. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down, clean it up, and then start sanding it down. And you know, I didn't want to put the front license plate back on, but that old bracket kind of boogered it up, kind of stretched the metal a little bit. I mean, not the metal, the plastic. So I think I might have to put it on just to kind of cover up. See how it's all kind of distorted out where the back of the bolt or the nut pulled up, especially on the bottom one. I mean, I don't want the big holes there. And it's mounded up, so it's not something you can just plug up, I suppose. Maybe if you heated it up and flattened it out, but we'll see. I'll probably just end up putting the license plate bracket back on, a better one than that bent up one. But yeah, I'm gonna start sanding it down. I hate sanding because it just gets crap all over the garage. But it is the necessary evil, I suppose. So the sanding has begun. But I thought I would bring you in for a little bit of it. I did this side. You see this pinstripe in here? I did this side, and probably didn't do it the best or most effective way. So initially, I just started sanding on it, and I thought I could just sand it off, it'd peel off, but that wasn't the case. So it ultimately made it harder on me in the longer run, because when I sanded it down, it made that pinstripe super thin. So when I did figure out how to get it off with a heat gun and my fingernail, because I had sand in it, it was breaking way easier than it may have if I didn't sand it. So yeah, I didn't take the most effective or the best way, I suppose. But I got one side done, and I figured I'd bring you in for part of this side. It took a while to get that side done, but this is what I was doing, and I'm sure there's a better way out there. But for me, this was what I was doing. So I got my stool so I can sit down, because it does take a while. It's very time consuming. I'm glad I didn't cut my nails. I was looking at cutting my nails. But so I heat it up a little bit, right where I want to start. Since this is a break, I'm just going to start right there. Heat it up, take it off, and then just kind of run my nail over top of it and see if I can get it going. And if I can get it going, well, see, it's peeling off. So it did that a lot, peels off. Heat it up a little bit. You gotta be careful too, because this tape can get underneath your fingernail bed, and it's hot. Like I said, this is very time consuming. Well, this one's coming off pretty good. Not gonna complain. Now that one, some of them I was literally just scraping off freaking centimeter at a time. There we go. That broke off. I don't know why I just used metric. There we go. See how it's just breaks, goes about a 1/4 inch and breaks. Heat it up. Now I'm sure somebody's got an idea how to do this better, because I was trying to think I would sand it right on off and it'd be fine. Then my bright idea, which didn't last long, and I kind of had an idea it would not be the greatest idea, was I thought if I used a wire wheel, but as soon as I was doing it gently because I knew that the wire wheel would, this is polyurethane, it'll just tear that plastic up. But I thought if I just grabbed it a little bit, it would just kind of rip it off. But as soon as it touched down, I changed my mind. I said, I ain't gonna go that route. I'm going to try something different. So it's a heat gun, a long nail, and a lot of patience. What I have is I have a heat gun. I have a decent sized nail to get what this, I mean, I don't carry long nails normally because I hate nails. And then I was going to cut them the other day because playing guitar with me and long nails just makes, I don't know, I trip over myself more so than what I normally do. But what I don't have is a lot of patience. And they say certain things will teach you patience. But I figure at my age, if I haven't learned it by now, I don't know if I'll ever learn patience. I'm kind of like I want instantaneous gratification and success at whatever it is, to include peeling off pinstriping. There, I'll break this one right here. There we go. Give it a little break. Heat it up a little bit. Don't want to heat it up too much to deform the
polyurethane, just enough to get make the pinstriping flexible and get the glue underneath it to get a little bit. There we go. Let's see if I can get that one to go. Okay. Just go gent. Oh, see, it started ripping. So this is almost like watching paint dry. So I'm not gonna hold you hostage while I do this all, because you can make up a whole movie on this. But I just want to kind of show you what I'm doing to get this pinstriping off. And I didn't do any research either on how a lot of people do it, because I didn't really even think it was going to be that big of an issue. I just thought I'd run the sandpaper over it and the brittleness of it would just fall right off. But no, that's not what happened. Not with me. So I have to do it nice and slowly. But all right, guys, I'm not gonna. Oh, got a good one there. All right, I got everything out of there and cleaned it all up, scuffed up the whole front end. And then what I did was, wherever there was a little bit of an imperfection or a divot, as I'm putting my hand over it, I put fiberglass hair on it, and then went over top of it and smoothed it out, so you can't even feel it. So it smoothed out all the tiny imperfections that maybe it took a gash or something, but overall it's in great shape. It's just anything that's left there when you throw your paint down, I'm sure you're going to see it. So what I'm doing is trying to minimize that. So now I just have to wait. I'm going to let that dry. I've sanded it down, let it dry, and then I should be getting the primer in the next couple days or so. So once I get the primer, I can come out here and shoot primer on top of it. Once the primer's on it, then I can install that back in there. I've also got to freaking paint this thing. Just clean this up, sand it down, wire wheel it or whatever, and paint it. That goes in between. So these buckets, I took out some of these buckets. Well, I took them all out, but one of them or two of them, which one? I don't even know. The screw was welded in there. So which one was it? I ended up having to drill it out. I'm trying to, and it messed up that. So I might be able to salvage that. Overall, it's in good shape. It's just that one little tab. But I'm gonna buy probably another kit. They're like $15 or whatever, but you get a bunch of these things that allow you to adjust it. Just because, this is probably pretty brittle. They're the ones that you put into that panel, and then a big screw comes up. Oh, here it is. This screw comes out, and then it allows you to adjust your headlights up, down, side to side. But yeah, so until I get the primer, that's about all I can do for the fascia. Then I'll clean that up. I got the front end all primered up, but I noticed that I have a few spots that I need to go over. Overall, it was looking pretty good, and this will be covered underneath the grill that goes in there. The grill comes all the way out to this edge, but I'm probably going to still go over it and fix that little divot right there. And there's tiny little nicks. You can barely see it, but I can see it. So what I want to do is go back over it. And this is what I was talking about. You can actually see it with the primer, maybe, how it's spider web cracked around where those openings are. That's what's making me believe I'm going to have to put the license plate bracket on it. But yeah, so I'm ready now. It's already dried. I'm ready to put the put that headlight mounting plate back in it. But it's not done. So like I said, this is just a preliminary. Put it on the car, and then once it's on the car, I'll again getting it all mocked up, trying to make sure all the body lines are aligning properly. And the car will get sanded down again prior to it eventually getting painted, but I'm not close to being painted right now, so it's more of just getting it put back together, put it on the car, get it out of my way so I can free up the space for something else, to whether it's underneath the car or whether it's the hood. But we'll figure that out. But let me put this into that, and I'm going to put my rubber gloves on so I don't get them fiberglass splinters in my fingers anymore. But all right, guys.
Well, I got the front end on, and overall, it looks pretty good. There's a video that's missing that when I was transferring it from the GoPro to the hard drive, I got a little rambunctious, should I say. And while it was transferring, I tried to delete it off of the GoPro, and then my files got corrupt and I lost them. So there is a little bit of video missing, but anyway, so the front end is on. It does look pretty good. It does have some issues, but they're very minor. Like I was saying before, there's stuff down here, little scar that could be fixed. But when you put the grill in, you're not going to see it, because the grill comes all the way to this edge on both of them. This repop, okay, so this is the driver's side fender, and you can see how perfect it goes right around there, right? Then you come over here to the repop side, and it comes out, and then it kind of bounces out just a little bit right there. You can see it. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that, if anything. Yeah. The bottom part's not tied in, so once you tie the bottom one in, it will line up. This lines up fine. It's just that curve right there, it kind of pounces out at a little more of a 90 than a swoop. Whereas this side with the GM, it swoops around just nicely. But overall, the front end came out good, and I'm glad I got that header panel, or the headlight panel, because for a while I was sweating it. That was the one thing that was kind of holding me back from thinking that I could ever continue on with the front. But now that I've got a good front headlight panel, I'm going to move on and start probably working underneath. I'm going to get the tie, like I got to finish the welds along the sides that I didn't finish on the floor pan. I have the holes punched, I just need to weld them. And then I want to tie up the seams, clean it, and then put rust encapsulator, and then just clean up and tie up the bottom part of it. But yep, overall, she's starting to come around little by little. It will get there. It will get there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's see what we do next. Later on.